There are a number of perils you're confronted with when you try and remake a game as beloved and as seemingly stuck in a specific moment in time as Punch-Out. You don't change enough and you've got a pandering rehash. You change too much and you lose the game's essence. Nintendo has pretty much nailed the balance of old and new with Punch-Out for the Wii, a game that builds on the strengths of the NES original in some smart, simple ways that, when combined with a stylish, playful presentation, makes for a terrific experience.
You can always take a whooping.
Punch-Out's biggest strength is that it recognizes what made Punch-Out so great in the first place. The fighters you face are first and foremost, and the game features the full roster from the original, as well as one fighter from Super Punch-Out and a couple of originals.
Just go, kid.
There's a loving detail to the way the fighters look, move, and sound, which is good, because they account for most of the game. The cel-shaded graphics complement the fighters' cartoonishly exaggerated physiques, and there's an expressiveness to the characters that, even when they're speaking a foreign language, let you know what's on their minds. Little Mac remains the silent protagonist, though his trainer Doc is eager to spout nonsensical boxing platitudes, helpful advice, or just whatever errant thought might be sauntering through his empty head in between rounds.
Where am I? I can't even find my chocolate bar.
The game also mines the classic Punch-Out music quite successfully, and much of it really benefits from the energetic instrumentation it's treated to. Punch-Out stays true to the gameplay experience of the original, but it does make some appreciable additions to the core Punch-Out formula. You've got more ways to dodge punches, but you'll also find lots of your opponent's attacks require a specific dodge to avoid getting hit. Fighters still telegraph their punches in spectacular fashion, but they've got a lot more moves, and as the difficulty ramps up, your reflexes become just as important as your ability to memorize patterns. Similar to the original, the career mode in Punch-Out initially has you work your way up through 13 fighters in 3 different circuits before you can call the WVBA championship yours. Once you get to the belt, though, you unlock a second stage to your career where you have to defend your title against the same fighters. This time, though, they've been training for you, and everyone is tougher, faster, and craftier in the ring. Many of them have changed their look dramatically, sometimes in ways that affect their core characteristics. For me, this is where Punch-Out really started getting tough in the way that I remember Punch-Out being tough. The game also offers a 2-player split-screen mode pitting 2 Little Macs against each other. The best part about the multiplayer is the ability to transform into Giga Mac when you land enough punches. In addition to turning you into a monstrous, wild-haired freak, it switches the split screen to a perspective that mimics the single-player game, essentially letting you play the game as one of the outsized fighters you're always going up against. There are both standard, old-school controls and motion control options for Punch-Out, as well as support for the balance board, which you can use to duck and dodge. I guess you kind of have to throw motion controls in the mix for a game like this, but the digital nature of the action in Punch-Out just made the D-pad input feel better for me. With the motion controls, I felt like I was getting something that was more complicated without being tangibly better. Save for the inclusion of Mike Tyson, I'm not sure you could expect a much better Punch-Out remake. That's not to say you couldn't make an arcade-style boxing game that was deeper and longer-lasting, but then it just wouldn't be Punch-Out.
Join the Nintendo fun. I mean Club Nintendo today, Mac.
Ding, ding.